Hi, I'm calling about the home for sale by owner. Do I have the pleasure to speak with the owner? Okay, awesome. My name is Jessica Nelson, and I do work with a lot of buyers and sellers in your area. And I was just wondering, how can I help you? Bring you a buyer? Yes, ma'am. I can appreciate that. I mean, what the heck else should a realtor be doing other than that, right? Yes, ma'am. I realize that you're for sale by owner. Do you have an amount that you intend to pay an agent who brings you a buyer? 1.5%. Okay. So my assumption is if the agent wanted to be paid more than that, they would have to collect it from their buyer. You got it. I'm with you, ma'am. Okay, perfect. And tell me, I'm not in the business of making people homeless. Do you already have somewhere else picked out to go when I do bring you this full price offer? How nice. Is your daughter excited? She is. Okay, great. Well, it sounds like you already have a place picked out. Where does your daughter live? In Florida. Okay, great. And you are all like you're ready to go there 100%? Okay, because that's a big move. Sometimes people will tell me things like, "Hey, I'm ready to go to California," but then when the home actually sells, they're like, "Wait a minute, I don't want to move." Perfect. So it sounds like you are 100% ready then. Okay, great. And do you have a certain period of time where if you're not receiving the offers that you're looking for, you're going to consider interviewing agents to assist you? About a month or two? Okay, perfect. So it sounds like if you don't get the right offer now, you will consider hiring an agent in about a month or two. Okay, perfect. And what's stopping you from hiring an agent before then? Hmm. Yeah, I don't doubt that you can. You sound pretty tough. I can tell that you'd be an excellent negotiator. And frankly, if you've been talking to a lot of realtors, would you say you know a lot more than the majority of them? I don't blame you. My name is Jessica Nelson. Who do I have the pleasure of chatting with? Betty. Betty, I'm really enjoying this conversation. You're probably the most fun I've had all day. So thank you for that. O- Okay, Miss Betty Joe. So I see you have a three-bedroom, two bath, 2,200 square feet. You're in Plano. Are you familiar with the Parker Estates neighborhood, just a little bit north of you? Perfect. So I just had the great pleasure of helping someone similar to you. He was kind of tired of dealing with realtors. He had sold a few homes himself in the past, but he just wasn't getting the offers he wanted to move. So he did give me the opportunity to work with him. Are you familiar with what's going on in Plano right now in the market? Well, he himself had been on the market for, I think it was 120 days. What was that, 4 months, Liz? Hadn't gotten a single offer from a buyer, nothing but agents harassing him. He got tired of this. He said, you know what? I'm going to hire somebody. He hired somebody else, not me. He hired somebody that was, doing the. Have you gotten any calls from these companies that they'll put it online for you, like for like $500, but you have to take your own pictures? Oh yeah. Okay. So he hired one of those folks and they had it on the market for another 3 months. So here goes, a half a year by. He's actually already starting to move out. So it's kind of a pain in the butt for him. We put the home on the market and I got it sold within 38 days for a price that was 18,000 over asking. Would you be curious to find out how that worked for him? I agree with you. I don't like to sign papers with people who don't want to work with me. So we're either going to both agree that this is the right fit, or we'll just make new friends and have some tea together. All right, Miss Liz. So it sounds like if I were to bring you an offer in, say, the next 14 days that was at your list price, you would take it. Is that right? You would. Okay. And is the most you're willing to pay 1.5%? Or let's say there's, a relocation agent who's involved and they want to be paid 2%. Would you consider paying 3.5 at that point? Okay. I'll make a note of that. I understand. And in terms of decision makers, it sounds like you're pretty independent. I can tell you know how to make decisions. Is there anyone else that's going to be involved in the conversation? Anyone that's going to want to ask me things? Perfect. I love that. And what qualities are you looking for in the person that you would consider hiring? I realize you're not going to sign anything, but my intention is to do a great job for you. So if you were to hire somebody, what qualities would you be looking for in that agent? For sure. It sounds pretty simple to me. Someone who knows exactly what it's going to take to get it done. And then I'm assuming because you definitely want to walk away with most money you can, someone who's really going to fight for you to get every penny possible. Is that right? Okay, perfect. I made a note of that. And what's important about the move is that you want to be closer to your daughter in Florida. Is that right? Okay. When is your actual retirement date? Gotcha. So there's basically nothing stopping you. If you got your offer today, you'd be in Florida tomorrow. Okay. Well, I'm glad I'm speaking to the right people. I cannot tell you how many folks I talk to on a daily basis, Liz, that they're just testing the market. You sound like if I brought you the right buyer, you're going to take it. Okay, great. Well, thank you for that. And is there anyone in the family that would prevent this move? Like, are any of your children that don't want you to sell the house? They have memories there? Okay. Yes, ma'am. I'm with you. Okay. Since you've been on the market for sale by owner, it looks like it's been about 2 weeks. Have you received any offers? Okay. So that offer was 75,000 below where you're currently listed. Is that right? And did you attempt negotiation with those folks at all? I appreciate that. Were the folks who made you an offer like a wholesaler or a cash investor, or were they actual buyers that are going to enjoy the home themselves? Investors. Okay, so that makes sense why it would be a lowball offer. There's probably no closing costs that they'd be asking you for. They weren't asking you for any commissions. Is that about right? Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty normal when we're on the market for sale by owner. By the way, before I got my license, it's how I started out. I saw what nonsense goes on in this industry and it made me want to improve it. Um, but that's normal. People believe, or professional investors are under the impression that if you're not represented, it's like going to a divorce without an attorney. They believe that they can take advantage of you so long as there's no
commissions involved. Was that your experience dealing with them? Did it feel like they were thinking they were getting one over on you? Yeah, it's super frustrating. You deserve better than that. For sure. And I will bring with me a net sheet when I see you. In order to make those numbers accurate for you, are you able to tell me how much you have left on your mortgage, if anything at all? Okay, great. Being that that is the case, let's say you're not able to get your price of 615 just through no fault of your own or no fault of your home, just the market may not be there. Are you open to creative financing or seller financing? Okay. Yes, ma'am. Now, may I share with you what I'm actually seeing in the market so that you can have a better idea of what that decision would look like? And I'm only sharing this to be helpful. You can do whatever you want with the advice. So I have a property right now in Mansfield. Lovely couple. The market there is very soft. Do you have any friends that live in Mansfield? Well, that's good because you don't have any friends struggling with the real estate market then. Um, anyhow, on the open market, the best offer they received was 475, from a qualified buyer. But however, the seller financing offer they got was 550. So if that's something that maybe on the table for you, it would get you that extra amount that you're looking for above fair market value. It's totally up to you. It's just something to think about. Okay, cool. Well, I can definitely bring those options with me as well, just for you to have a look at. And it sounds like you're going to be moving in with your daughter. You don't need any assistance to locate your next property, do you? I love that. So, no need to look for a home there. You already know where you're going. That's great. Are there any changes or modifications to the inside of your home that you'd like to make before I start to bring buyers through? Yeah, I see that. You picked everything that HGTV tells us to do, and that makes my life much easier. Thank you for that. How did you guys happen to pick that floor color? It's beautiful. Yeah, you have good taste. Okay. So everything was renovated in 2022. I made a note of that. Is that accurate? Perfect. I'm sure you want to get that capital back. I don't blame you. In the description of your property, I see some remarks about roof, HVAC, and the condition of your foundation. I just want to confirm, is all of that accurate that none of those items are requiring a repair at this point? Wow, that's amazing. With all the hail and the storms that we've had, for you to be in pristine condition, you're very lucky. I'd say so too. And you shared with me that your price is 615. Now, sometimes when I speak to sellers, if they tell me their prices, 515, really the lowest they're willing to go or what they would accept would be 500. Have you left a little room for negotiation, or is this your bottom line, the lowest you would accept? 600. Okay. So let me ask you this, and we'll discuss it more in person. Does price matter to you, or does sold price matter to you? Okay, I love to hear it. Most sellers are not that savvy. Betty, they'll tell me things like, "Oh, you know what? My list price is my list price." I'm like, "What do you care? If we list it at 599 and you get 625, who cares about your 615 list price, right?" Okay, perfect. Great. So you're open to me sharing unique strategies that maybe another agent hasn't shared with you yet. Well, you're the first seller I've enjoyed talking to today, so we're even there, huh? Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right. Well, I've asked you a ton of questions and you've been super patient. Thank you for your time. What questions do you have for me before I come out tomorrow? Yeah, I can. Do you want just one or do you want multiple so that you can get the most money possible? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I appreciate that. Would you actually like to speak to my client that I helped in your neighborhood? He's a lovely human. If you want to talk to him, I can send you his number. Yeah. Okay, I respect that. Yeah, I'll send you all the information about that home we just sold in your neighborhood, and I'm happy to provide you with this number. You can text him if you don't feel comfortable calling. He'll answer. He actually sent me two other people since we sold his home, so he's kind of used to it. Yeah, I feel very blessed to have such kind clients. Okay. Well, I have your phone number, I have your email address. Is there anything else that you need to know from me? Yeah, that's a great question. Let me ask you, do you care whether the best buyer comes from me or from another agent? Does it matter to you? Great. That's all I wanted to know. So, part of a listing agent's job, which is different from just bringing a buyer. So, if I was to bring you a buyer, obviously I represent the buyer, I'm negotiating against you. However, if I was to work for you, I'd be working on your behalf and I'd be looking for not only buyers, but also relocation companies that could bring us a buyer, HR departments who are bringing new talent to the area, out of state brokers like people in California. Did you see the fires? Yeah, can you imagine how great of a buyer would be if they just lost their home, they received a huge cash settlement and they can't wait to move to Texas? You think that'd be a good buyer for us? Exactly. So I'm with you. I don't care whether the buyer is my own and I keep all the commission, or if I actually go out and find the right person who has the right buyer, whether it's an agent, attorney, whoever it is, and I have to split some of the commission with them, so long as you get the best deal. Are you in agreement with that? Okay, I'm glad we're on the same side here. All right. Well, Betty, this has been lovely. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. When I see you, if everything makes sense and you feel 100% confident that I can get your home sold for the highest possible price, are you open to the possibility of hiring me tomorrow? Yes, ma'am. Well, I cannot wait to see you then. And it sounds like we're already working together as a team. If something comes up between now and then, you have my information. Give me a call, text. My assistant will also call you to confirm that that time still works. Okay. Can't wait to see you. 6:15. Let's go. Bye. Hi, Miss Betty. I wanted to give you a face to the stranger's voice over the phone, tell you how excited I am to meet with you, find a strategy to help you get the most money you can so that you can get to your daughter's home in the next month or less. The three things I'll have with me is number one, what's top dollar for your home in today's market? While we would love a cash buyer who's willing to overpay, we also have to be in line with what's going to appraise. So I'll bring that information with me. Number two, what is the realistic timing for you? If we were to put the home on the market, say this Thursday, when would you be sitting at the closing table receiving your funds? And number three, after everything is said and done, how much money will you, Betty Joe, receive in your pocket? So if having answers to these three questions would be helpful and useful to you in some way, I'm so excited to see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Talk to you soon. One thing I find so crazy about for sale by owners is how they never answer the phone. It's how are you supposed to sell a home and you can't even get people access? Hi, Ricky. I'm calling about the home for sale by owner. I am a real estate agent, curious to find out if you would be working with agents. My direct phone number is 214-751-6722. Thank you. It's absolutely absurd to me that you would put your home on the market, put pictures of your property, your kids' stuff, and like never answer the phone. But a lot of people don't think it through when they put their home on the market for sale by owner. They just think that they're doing something to save money. And then they get angry. Why are all these realtors calling me? I don't know, because we work with buyers and you're trying to sell your home. Hello. Ah, Dios. Jason. Hello, I'm calling about the home for sale by owner. I'm a real estate agent and we have a property for sale near yours. I was curious to find out if you're open to collaborating. If, people come to our open house, can we bring them to see yours? My direct phone number is 214-751-6722. Thank you. Give people a reason to call you back or they will never call you back. Hello, my name is Jessica Nelson. I'm calling about the home for sale by owner. My number is 214-751-6722. Thank you. Ooh, this is exciting. Y'all, please meet Michelle. Michelle's amazing. I'm going to mute myself so you can hear her. She's really good. Oh my goodness. Okay. I appreciate you being so open with me. Mohammed, do you happen to know a gentleman named Mohammed Mujib in Irving in your community? Yes. I sold 2 homes for him. He does a lot of flips, but he also lives in Irving. Real nice guy. I thought maybe you might know each other. Okay. Yes. Right. Yes.
I'm not getting good pickups.
Sure. I appreciate you being so open with me, Mohammed. Let me ask you this because I'm not in the business of making people homeless. Let's say I did bring you 285 and they wanted to move in the next 30 days. Where are you planning on moving to? Oh, wow. Sure.
Hi, good morning. This is Michelle Playden. I'm reaching out regarding a property on Hartside Place here in Farmers Branch. Just have a couple quick questions. If you could give me a call whenever you get a chance, please give me a call back at 619-961.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Sure. So by you saying that, it tells me that you haven't really fully thought this through. And sometimes sellers in your position, that's that's because they don't actually believe the home is going to sell. Are you really committed to this on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. 10 being like, yeah, yes, we're definitely selling. Okay. Sure. That's accurate timing. June. I love that you've actually given me a timeline. Sure. The properties that you're currently looking at, have you made an offer on a property yet? No, can you hear me? Uh, Did you say that you've already had one of your offers accepted on a home that you've been looking at? Not yet. Okay. And I can tell from the pictures you take great care of this home. What updates have you done since you're the original owner since 2008? Have you done any upgrades to the property?
Hi, this is Michelle Clayton. I'm reaching out regarding a property on Laramie Street here in Irving. Just have a couple quick questions. If you could give me a call whenever you get a chance, my phone number is 619-961.
And you're going to leave those for the buyer?
Bye.
Okay. That looks like a Restoration Hardware chandelier. Sure. I understand. Okay. So you upgraded all of the appliances? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Hi, good morning. I was calling about a property on Laramie Street here in Irving. Do I have the right number?
Okay.
Sorry? Okay.
Okay. I don't see any pictures of the outdoor. Did you add some? I only see the inside. Okay. Okay. That's exactly the buyer that you want. If they're relocating here for work, that's the perfect ideal buyer, Mohammed. Oh, that's where I'm from. You too? Are you from? It's okay. I said that's where I'm from as well. Are you from New Jersey too? Oh, wow. Okay. Sure. Sure, sure. Okay.
Hi, good morning. I was calling about a property on North Church Street here in McKinney. Do I have the right number? Yeah, the reason for my call, I saw it came off the market. I think it was last week. I was just curious what your plans were, if you had any, for getting it back on the market and getting it sold. Okay. Okay, got it. So you're just kind of taking a break just to, are you trying to have the days on market reset, or you're just taking a little break for yourself with showings and everything?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Sure. Did she pick the paint colors? They go really well with your tiles and your counters.
Okay.
Yeah, you can tell.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah,
and
your home
do
is
you
very
have an
warm.
active agreement still going with the other
Yep.
agent, or will you be
Grace
signing another
can
contract?
make the home feel kind of cold and empty. Okay.
Okay. Well, before you do sign another contract, I mean, would you
What's
be
your
open to
email
just
address,
interviewing and
Mohammed?
seeing, comparing things like price, marketing, commission?
Okay.
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 HID.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's totally understandable. If anything changes,
Perfect. When are the
I'd love
folks
to
from New
interview
Jersey
and just
coming
see how
back?
we can help. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
The weekend will be here in just a few days. Perfect. So, are you open to receiving some unsolicited advice? I'm sure you've gotten a lot from realtors. At this point, since you have a buyer, he doesn't have an agent, right? He's going to talk to you directly. Sometimes my uncle used to say that the worst thing in a deal is an attorney or a realtor because they always slow down the deal. While I'm sure the agents could help you and I'm sure I could bring you a buyer, this person sounds like they could be the right fit. When someone is moving from another area and they work close to where you live, that's a lot of motivation to give you the price you want. And since there's no commissions involved, you have a little bit more wiggle room. Yeah. So rather than me complicating this situation,
Hi,
if
good
you're
morning. I
open
was
to
calling
it,
about
what
a
I would
property on
suggest is
Manitou Drive here in
seeing
Prosper.
what
Do I have
kind
the
of
right
deal you
number?
can work with that gentleman. And if the numbers are just like low ball, like if it's insulting, then we can talk about bringing in more buyers. But let's see what offer he makes, how do you feel?
Hi, good morning. I was calling about a property on Manitou Drive. Do I have the right number? Oh, no worries. Since I have you on the line, I'm a realtor. You don't happen to have any real estate needs, do
Sure.
you? Alrighty. Well, you have a good one. Thanks. Bye-bye.
The market's all over the place. Are you seeing what's going on? Like one property sells with 10 offers and you're like, why? That's not that great of a property. And another one's on the market for 6 months. It's very weird right now. Mm-hmm. And I read something recently that Geico is opening up a big. Yeah. And mhm. Sure. Yeah,
Hi, good morning.
I
I
kind
was
of don't
reaching
want to
out
complicate the
regarding condo
situation
on Holland
because this
Avenue here in
person does
Dallas.
sound like the
Just have
ideal
a couple quick
buyer.
questions. If you could give me a call whenever you
If
get a
if
chance,
you
please let
don't
me know.
have something
629
solidified with him by like say next
961
Tuesday,
0279. Thank you so
what's
much. Bye.
generally when are you showing the property? Are you doing it after work? Are you doing on the weekends? What's generally good for us to get together? I'm thinking maybe next Wednesday. When do you generally finish work? Now you have two jobs. You have one selling the home and your actual job. So next Wednesday is the 16th. I could do. Go ahead. No good. Okay. What about the 15th after work? That would be next Tuesday. Okay. What time do you generally finish, Mohammed? Okay. 5:30 good? That would be amazing. Like 12 o'clock? Yes. I have twin 14-year-olds. I completely understand. So is that like 12 or 12:30? What's better for you? 12. All right. I'm going to put 12 in the schedule. And if something changes, we can always move it. I really do think you should pursue that gentleman from New Jersey. Based on what I'm seeing in the market, he sounds ideal. And I want you to win. Why pay commissions if you don't have to? You can use escrow company. I'll give you somebody that will do a good job. You don't have to pay them extra. If you get an offer from this gentleman and you just have questions about the contract, Mohammed, the way I build my business is serving the public. I'm more than happy to help you, and you don't have to pay me anything. Just tell your friends I'm a good realtor. All right, perfect. I will. No, I'm actually calling you from an office line, but I will send you a message from my direct number. Jessica Nelson. Yeah. If you were to call this number back, you'd get any one of 70 agents. So I'll text you from my real number. And for sure. You got it. I've helped a few people in your community, and I can give you their numbers too. They can tell you about working with me. My favorite was Mujib. He's so fun. He really negotiated hard, and he was very tough, but we've done 3 deals since then. So I'm sure you. Yep. You know what he does? He crowdfunds. So like, I don't know if you guys go to the same temple, but he has like a group of friends. They put all their money together and they go buy like apartment buildings, land that they repurpose and sell to developers. So a lot of people locally know him.
Hi,
And he's a
Erin.
character. Like, he's so funny. I find him funny.
The drive here in Dallas. Just have a couple quick
All right,
questions.
Mr. Muhammad,
If
I
you
look
could give me a
forward to
call
meeting
whenever you get a chance.
Tuesday at 12.
You can give
Yeah,
me a
same.
call at
If you need anything in between, just give me a call, okay?
619-961-0379. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Don't worry, my assistant will call you to confirm too. We'll send you reminders. Forget, I know. All right, take care, friend. Bye-bye. All right.
Appointment set.
He's going to call Najib the minute he gets off the phone with me. All right, let me write this down. Longview.
Hi, good morning. I was calling about a property on Whitman Place here in Dallas. Do I have the right number? Okay, it's no longer for sale. Okay, does that mean you would not be considering any offers at this time? Okay, so you are still considering selling? Okay. Sure. And are you guys looking for that same price that you were last listed at, 329?
Try not to overthink how you look.
Just have to
People are
ask.
always
Sometimes
like, I
people have
can't
a
believe you do
change of
videos
heart.
with no makeup and your hair
So,
not done.
sure.
Literally, nobody cares. Nobody's like, I'm not going to work with you
And
because you have
you're
makeup
the
on.
property owner, I'm assuming? Where can I send it to? Oh, this is my office line. You can text it to my personal cell. Are you able to write it down, or do you want me to text you from my cell phone? Okay, I'll go ahead and text you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Good morning, Mohammed. I wanted to give you a face to the stranger's voice over the phone. I can imagine you've heard from probably every realtor and investor in the Metroplex. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me. So, when we do get together, the three things I can bring you that could be useful to you, you tell me if you believe they are. Number one is what's appraisal value for your home in today's market? So, obviously, you want to get 785, 800, the most that you can. If it's not a cash offer, having the knowledge of the appraisal value will help you in your negotiations so that you don't have to reduce the price if the appraisal comes in lower. So I hope that'll be helpful to you. Number two is I can give you a realistic timeline in terms of how long it should take. I know that you said June is your target, which is actually excellent timing because, as you said, the whole process is, 45, 60 days. So if you really wanted to time it so that you're receiving your funds from this sale and closing on your other sale, you're in an excellent position right now. And we can go over exactly what that would look like. And then number three, I'm sure this is the most important to you because you're for sale by owner, is after everything is said and done, how much money are you going to walk away with? It depends on whether or not you're paying title policy, all the negotiation terms that you actually can determine now as a seller. How can you end up walking away with more money? So if having those three pieces of information will be helpful and useful to you, I'm very excited to meet with you on Tuesday at 12:30. My assistant Tiffany will call you to confirm it still works. I've also sent you our track record and all that information so that you can see spending 15, 20 minutes of your time with me will definitely be a great use. If there's anything I can do to help you with Mr. New Jersey or questions about title companies, questions about documents, next steps, I'm more than happy to help you. Like I said, I serve the public. So in turn, I just hope you'll tell people I did a great job, even though I'm potentially not receiving any pay, right? I'm more than happy to help. Talk to you soon, Mohammed. Bye.
Put him in my system and move on to the next. Oh my God, there's so many. When you're doing videos, it's very helpful to keep your eyes open. I have the tendency to close mine for some reason. All right, there goes that.
Hi, good morning, Robert. This is Michelle Clayton. I was reaching out regarding a property you have on Burnswick Isle Way here in Frisco. Just have a couple quick questions. If you could give me a call whenever you get a chance, my phone number is 619-961-0379. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hello? Hello?
Nobody got time for your bullshit. All right, 2 down, 3 to go. All right. Okay, let's keep rolling. Uh-oh. My headset's about to die. Hi, I'm calling about the home for sale by owner. Is this the owner? Yes, sir. Thank you for answering the phone. My name is Jessica Nelson. I do work with a lot of buyers and sellers in Carrollton, and I was curious, how can I help you? Sure. I love the honesty. So sure. Okay. Sure. If it's cash flow, why would you get rid of it? Okay. Sure. Yes. I appreciate I appreciate you being so open with me. It helps me to do a better job for you. My name is Jessica. Who do I have the pleasure of chatting with?
Hi, good morning. I was calling about a condo on
Milan, nice
Keller
to meet
Springs
you.
Road. Do I have the right
Milan, a
number?
lot of people are calling me in the past 2 weeks saying, can you get me
You
money in
own a
5
condo
days? I
on
want
Keller
to put all
Springs
of my
Road
money
here
in
in
the stock
Hartford?
market, because it's so cheap right now with what's happened.
No,
What you're doing is
I
not
don't know. I
abnormal. I
must have
don't
got your
blame you.
information. You
Let
don't
me
own this
ask you
property.
this, and my intention is to be helpful. I do a lot of work with STRs, and I usually
Oh,
do it off market.
okay.
You could do this
I'll
yourself. Are
take you
you
off the
in
list
any
on
of
my
the
list. Thank
private
you.
Facebook groups for STR?
She wasn't very happy. Hmm.
Sure. Sure. But the corridor that you're in is the best place for what you're doing. Carrollton Farmers Branch, Addison. Yeah. Sure. Where would you say your motivation is? One being like you could care less, 10 being I definitely want to sell it. Where would you say you are, Milan? Sure. So since you've been so transparent and kind to me, I'm going to do the return the favor to you. In this market, unless a seller is 8, 9, or 10, I'm probably not going to work with them because we have been affected by what's going on economically. We are starting to see a lot more short sales in the area. We're starting to see people renting out rooms to be able to pay their mortgages. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The market is different today than it was even 1 year ago. But I can share with you. Yeah, yeah. I can share with you 2 tips that you could do yourself if you like. I'm happy to share them if it's helpful to you. Okay, so the first thing I would do if this was my home, and I do it for my clients, but you seem very savvy and you know what you're doing, you could do it yourself. The first thing I would do is reach out to CPAs and ask them if they have any high net worth individuals that need a write off. Because as you know, STR and oil and gas are the best write offs that you can get right now. And send them your home and tell them you'll give them like a little kickback because you can give a CPA and you can give an attorney a kickback. You're legally allowed to do that. That's the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is I would go on Facebook and I would literally put in short term rentals and Airbnb and go in those private groups and market the property on there. And you probably could find a direct buyer without an agent.
Oh.
Like nurses and stuff? Yeah. Okay. That's really good. Sure. Okay, so like a midterm rental. Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, you've done a ton of work. The bathrooms are stunning. I love the flooring. It looks like you've renovated this property top to bottom. Like, sure. You know, Milan, I don't think buyers realize that buying a short-term rental is the best home you could buy because you have to keep that home in pristine condition. Otherwise, people won't pay you rent. That home always has to be perfect. So it really is a unique opportunity for the right buyer to be able to purchase your property. I'm in the business of helping people who want my help, and it would be an honor to assist you. At some point, are you going to consider working with an agent? Go ahead, sir. Yeah, I know because I sound intelligent, you don't think I'm a realtor. Is that what you're saying? I appreciate the honesty. Sure. Mhm. Wow. That's a big price cut, 530 to 465. So I appreciate the fact that you witnessed that because you sound pretty savvy. You're in the business of real estate. Let me ask you this. You knew that price was too high and you saw those people lose value by chasing the market down. Where do you think they should have priced that home to begin with? Yes, the one your son listed. Hmm. It just brings it to market condition. You're absolutely right. Yeah, but to your point, maybe if they had started at 475, they might have gotten a bidding war if they had priced it right from the beginning. Yep, you're absolutely right. Sure. Well, mhm. Sure. Well, Milan, I've certainly enjoyed chatting with you. I do host a coaching call for all of my agents at 10:30. Um, it does seem like our conversation should continue. Are you available to meet either tomorrow afternoon or Saturday morning? Okay. When is generally a good time for you? Sure. I'm not. Who does your son work with, Milan? Okay, perfect. I coach over 70 agents in this area. I was actually a corporate trainer for Coldwell Banker. That's why I moved here from New York City in 2020. If your son is an agent, I would love to help him and support him because you're going to need a different strategy and different connections to get the price that you deserve for this home. So I'm more than happy to collaborate with him and have a conversation with both of you. Is that something that you think would be helpful to you to get more money? Sure. It's a very unique property, Milan. You need the right buyer is going to give you the price you want. It's not going to be some, I hate to say this, but some dum dum from the internet that's going to lowball you, you know? Right.